this is Brad from Letters and Bottles, and I'm here in the French Quarter today at the Absinthe Museum of America. And I'm here with Stacy Sisson, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the museum and how it came to be.
Well, the museum was kind of a creation of passion, I guess, if you will. It all started with just one absinthe spoon. It was a rare find in a French flea market in Paris, and from that, just kind of the learning and the understanding came to be of what absinthe is. My husband, Carrie Bonicaz, and his partner, Ray Bordelon, started the museum themselves, and it's a collection of all of their antiques, spoons, glassware, coasters, old invoices, just to name a few. So that's kind of where it began. They've both been collecting for around 9 years, and Ray Bordelon's home, he has a home in the Historic Garden District, and his home, when you walk into it, you think that you've been taken back to the 1800s, you know, in a French bar or bistro. So kind of with that passion that they both had, and with the experience and drive to actually open up the first museum, Absinthe Museum in America someday, they eventually did.
Okay, great. And you opened last summer in 2008?
We did. We opened just end of August, I believe.
Okay. So how did absinthe come to New Orleans? How did it come to be associated with this city?
Well, New Orleans at one time was called the Parisian city of America. And with all the French culture here, and all the artists and writers kind of congregating here, and creating their paintings or creating their writing stories and stuff, absinthe was said to make one more creative, if you will. So since it was such a popular French drink, it just translated to New Orleans and was brought over here by all the artistic type.
Sure. So are there any interesting stories from sort of the early years of absinthe here in New Orleans that you can recall?
Well, I don't know about here in New Orleans per se, but a lot of craziness definitely ensued with a lot of drinking. Hemingway used to drink what he called Death in the Afternoon. It was a glass of champagne and a shot of absinthe.
Interesting.
In the afternoon. So if you can imagine, once he got to 2 a.m., there probably were a lot of undocumented crazy stories out there.
So I know absinthe was banned at one point. How did that come about?
Well, I'll try to give you the short version of it. Absinthe was banned in France in 1912, in the United States in 1912, and was eventually banned in France in 1915.
Okay.
There were many reasons for this. I'm sure you've heard that they say absinthe makes you go crazy. There's a lot of propaganda that was used for the push towards banning absinthe. This is for many reasons. One, French soldiers, when they went to war, were given absinthe as a water purifier.
Oh.
When they came back from war, they had really developed a strong taste and
Sure.
love for it. So it was overtaking the wine industry in France as the most popular drink of France. Wine industry in France was run by the government and had a lot of government backing and money invested into it. So they started kind of one of the first waves of propaganda against absinthe, saying absinthe makes you crazy, absinthe will kill you, absinthe is poison. You'll see a lot of old posters, advertisements, propaganda, where there's a skeleton standing on top of a dead man holding a glass of absinthe. And we have some posters in the store as well that are the same. There's a skeleton face screaming, absinthe will kill you in French. So that, A, the wine industry.
Okay.
B, there were inferior brands of absinthe being made at the time. And this was because it was very difficult to get the proper herbs, get the proper ingredients, and to distill it as well. And also get that green color that people desire in absinthe. So they were making it in their bathtubs. They were making it however they could. And one ingredient that they did put into it was copper sulfate. Copper sulfate is a poison, and therefore it made people go crazy.
Okay.
So absinthe did make you go crazy, but at the same time, it it was the inferior brand of absinthe that actually made you go crazy. True absinthe and the absinthe that we have today still has those ingredients in it.
Okay.
But
The
there's
wormwood.
the wormwood and everything. It's truly traditional absinthe
Okay.
that we drink today.
Okay.
But it's in such small doses that it's now FDA regulated. But it's exactly the same as it was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But there are some brands now that are legal for import to the U.S., right?
That is correct.
Okay.
The kind of the pioneer of absinthe that kind of burst through for everyone was Lucid.
Lucid, okay.
And Lucid is actually a pre-banned bottle that was taken,
Oh.
uncorked, from 1800s. No one really knows the exact date, but it was pre-banned, uncorked, and broken down and rebuilt. So Lucid is
Interesting.
true traditional absinthe.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else that we should know about the museum?
It's just fantastic. It's a collection of passion. It's a collection of all the tabooism and the mystique around absinthe today, and it's definitely worth taking a look at.
Okay. Now I saw on some shirts here in the shop it says "Friends don't let friends burn absinthe." What's that all about?
Well, there's a couple different ways to prepare your absinthe. A French traditionalist would use kind of this setup with a fountain,
Okay.
an absinthe glass, and a spoon and sugar. So a traditional way to prepare your absinthe would be you fill this with ice water,
Okay.
you dose out your absinthe into your glass, and then you slowly drip the water on the sugar, breaking it down and blending it all together.
Okay.
A Czechoslovakian style of preparing absinthe is to light it on fire. But if you were to light a glass of absinthe on fire in front of a French traditionalist, they would be appalled. Why would you light your alcohol on fire? You're burning all the liquor out.
Very interesting.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And also on Bourbon Street and bars and stuff like that, you light one shot on fire, and next thing you know, 5 more people are buying one. So the show of it. So this is just kind of a play on the whole French traditionalist sense of how to prepare absinthe.
Great. And then one obligatory final question: have you ever seen The Green Fairy?
Well, I can't say that I've seen The Green Fairy, but I've definitely enjoyed absinthe to its fullest potential.
That's great.
Felt the wonderful effects of drinking absinthe for an evening.
Sure.
And I don't know, maybe someday I will, but as of right now, absinthe, it is a different drunk, if you're drinking it to get drunk. It's with the sugar and the water and the really high alcohol content, it's a different feeling than any other sort of liquor. So
great. Well, thanks for sharing your
No
time
problem.
with us today, and it was great to look at the museum. It's a really interesting collection. And thanks again for your time.
not a problem. Thank you very much.
All right.